What's up, guys? Draft-a-Palooza is back. Drafting best ball teams all summer long. Best ball on Underdog. Best ball on DraftKings. Wherever the balls are the best, that's where we go. We're trying to draft as many best ball teams as possible this summer. Draft-a-Palooza, it is a party. Now, guys, we're going to do some underdog drafts in a second. I want to always go through any kind of fantasy football news, changes, updates that are going on. And I did hear a little, it's a couple of interesting tidbits. There are some rumors, rookies and sophomores. Ooh, okay. That makes me interested right there, Soups. So I'm intrigued. We'll see. We'll check that out. But I wanted to give a couple. All right, let's take a look here. Sprint, marathon. We're going to have to play this rookie thing. The German Shepherd, but super flex. Okay. All right, there we go. We got a super flex. Rookies and sophomores. So we have some new contests that we're getting in. We're doing these. I'm excited. German Shepherd, but super flex, and rookies and sophomores. 4-person draft. Let's do one of those. We got to do that. Definitely not interested in Odell Beckham, Nate, but I will tell you guys this. I did hear a couple of interesting rumors and tidbits. So the most interesting thing was a tidbit out of Breece Hall. Now, I've been telling you guys for a while on Breece Hall. I'm not crazy about him this year, right? He goes midway through round 3. Last season, he was a first rounder. He was in competition. I was taking last year, Breece Hall and Tyreek Hill basically sunk my drafts last year. Fuck that guy, right? Except I find out that Breece Hall is now saying he had like a PCL or an ACL, or he had an injured something or another all of last season. There we go. So now Breece Hall's coming out and saying, well, no, I was injured all of last year. Really? I didn't know that. So part of my issue was that with Breece Hall, what's changed, right? He kind of had a disappointing year. The Jets were playing other running backs, Braylon Allen ahead of him at the goal line. Why are they doing that? Is he not good anymore? What happened to him? So now we're hearing, all right, he was injured all year, but he didn't want to sit out games, blah, blah, blah. So at least some hopium for Breece Hall that he will be worth more than his 3rd round current ADP. Ray Zanny's got everybody coming over for darts. Corruption season. It's exciting. Fun night. 45 people coming over. Crazy. Hall in the first stinks, but there you go. So, we don't have to take him in the first round. We were all so disappointed in Breece Hall last year. They're like, oh, he fucked my team. He ruined it. But that's because we took him in round 1, and he didn't give you league-carrying scores almost ever. But as a 3rd, 4th rounder, acceptable, especially now with a little bit of excuses going as far as, what's going on with him, right? So there's that. All right, let's check out this new contest. The German Shepherd, but super flex. Why is it called the German Shepherd? What's unique about it? Let's take a look. Weeks 1 through 14, quarterfinal. All right, so this is the standard puppy/underdog style contest with the 3-week playoff format, except super flex. Interesting. And then you've got this rookies and sophomores thing. Rookies and sophomores, 4-person drafts. Let's do a quick rookies and sophomores, see what this is about. I need to think it through, though. Rookies, right? We know who the rookies are this year. Sophomores, we've got some names from last season that were really good. Like Neighbors. Did we get any running backs last year? Not really. So, I don't know. Trey Benson. Let's give this a shot, guys. I'm going to do a quick rookies and sophomore pick. I don't even know this contest type, so we're doing this live in real time. And this will be something where I have no idea how they wait. Let me make sure that this is a fast draft. Yeah, 20 seconds per pick. Okay, here we go. All right, let's take a look at who's actually on the menu here. Brian Thomas, Ladd, McConkey, Brock Bowers, Bo Nix, all those good quarterbacks from last year. We got Amarion, Caleb. Let's a quick look through how many people are we drafting against. It looks like only 1, 2, 3, 4 people in the entire draft. So if you're in here with me, we're going really mano a mano, really small room. So we got QBs are Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, Caleb Williams. You know, the group from last year. I see enough, and some from this year. I see enough good ones here, you know, with 4 rosters to get a bunch of good stuff going. Let's see. Again, running backs, Janty, Irving, Omarion, and this whole group. So enough names here to be, okay, there's Fungal and Soups. Oh, boy, we're all in it together. And then it's a flex spot. So 1 QB, 1 RB, 1 flex. It looks like that is your starting lineup. I should have paid more attention to that. But I didn't. I don't even know here. I'm like, all right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So four teams in the draft, and we're all here in the channel together. So concerning, right? Can't really give a lot of information out. Looks like, again, we got a bunch of QBs, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. So there's enough to have 1 on each team, maybe a second one. When does this start? Where's the timer? I'm on the clock. Oh shit. All right, so let's go with the big running back, see how that goes. Again, we need 1 running back only. So, okay, 1 quarterback, a couple of wide receivers. And tight end is not a requirement here. So, of course, we got to treat Brock Bowers, for what he is. So Bucky, Janty in the first few picks, Nix and Jaden Daniels go. Obviously, Jaden Daniels is a pretty big positional advantage in this format. I'll get a double pick in a minute here. Malik Neighbors obviously is amazing, and Brian Thomas feeling some pressure to get some running backs. So here we go. RB, Omarion, WRTE. We can get Lad McConkey here. Do that. Let's see who the remaining QBs are. I think we go with a second running back here in Hampton. So if this is in this format, wait a second. How many RBs are starting? I need to check. How does the starting lineup work on this damn contest? RB2, WRTE1, and QB1. Wish I could see how lineups look. It looks like you can maybe start 2 running backs. I don't know. I should have paid attention to that. Can you guys check this contest? If you're not in here, what are the starting positions in this thing? I really can't tell. Get the draft board on. Hold on. Caleb. So, Fungal, 3 running backs. Why take so many running backs, man? All right, here's where we choose between Caleb or Drake May. Get one of them. Wide receiver. Go back to Ted McMillan. Fine. There's a lot of wide receivers that are good. Running backs are done for the most part. We'll go with 10. There are an abundance of wide receivers relative to the other positions. As I start to look at the wide receiver group, like, yeah, you got a Dunze, he's good. Pearsall, so a couple of other good ones still floating around. And some from last year, like Keon Coleman, a little bit of late draft upside. I'm trying to think if the strategy here would be even fewer QBs or like more early running backs. I'm not really sure. Judkins now looks like a guy who's going to have a suspension. 1 QB, 1 wide receiver, 2 wide receiver, and a flex. So you could play 2 running backs and a flex can play. Okay. All right. So one running back, 1 quarterback, 2 wide receivers, and a flex. So again, We can start and get scoring from 2 running backs in this format and 2 wide receivers. Got it. Whoa, am I on the clock? Shit. Ugh. I just fucked up. Well, actually, I stole some people's potential second QB. So that was a real fuck up. The only good thing about that was that most of the other players are already toast. So that was a disaster. That's what happens when I'm paying attention to the chat. Yeah, the Judkins situation, it does look like Judkins is going to get a suspension, which is very bad for any kind of draft like this. So, do with that what we will. We got all our quarterbacks. Turn that shit off. We're going to look at running backs and wide receivers and tight ends from here. The wide receiver group did thin out super fast. So doing another one of these, that would be my sort of takeaway. It's oh, they thinned out super fast. So I certainly would take that third wide receiver before I get a third quarterback. And no doubt, I got to stop forgetting that this is on. Let's see, Colston Loveland, Luther Burden. I don't know. I'll just do Judkins in case he doesn't get suspended. All right, from here, we're only taking, I don't know how many rounds this is. 12. Looks like 12 rounds total. Are you in here, Tattoo? No. We've got Soups, Fungul, and myself. 3 out of the 4. We're all going up against Husky. All right, so let's see how this is going so far. All right, I'm back on the clock. You can't even do a breakdown here. It's just happening so fast. Husky, is that you, Tattoo? Are you that person? I had more. Yeah, I don't have any Samson. All right, we're on the clock once again, and we need wide receivers. I'm going to take Loveland. I'm going to take some tight ends. Here's Kyle Williams. Let's grab him as well. I like him a little bit. What I like about this format is it's really fast. As far as strategy goes, it does take doing one draft to kind of get a feel for some strategy. And, I'm on the clock. How is this happening every 2 seconds? How am I missing this? No, Husky. Am I on the clock? No. Does it look like I'm on the clock? Oh, no. Okay, there we go. There's one more pick left at the end. Now I want to look at how these how the draft actually went. So let me open this up in its own window. We'll hold that for later. I still need to take one more player. You're on the clock, Pollock. All right, here we go. Whatever. There we go. All right. I'm going to just do a brief kind of look over of this draft, kind of how it went. So, Soups, you got Jaden Daniels in round 1. Went quarterback, right? So we got Ashton, Bucky, Trevion, Omarion, Caleb. Lots of good running backs. You keep getting ads during the stream? And they freeze the video? Do we have ads on? You guys see you see ads during the stream? Soups, you already got 20 in? You fucking maniac. You maniac. I don't know that we have you shouldn't have I don't even turn on monetization on these videos because I hate that when I'm watching a live stream. So I have it shut off. Oh, you have YouTube Premium. Nice. Maybe they turned on ads. So I don't know. I'll look at, last 2 streams we've seen ads. Interesting. Okay. All right. I'll look into that, guys. I know we turn it on after, but not during the live. Maybe he's turning it on live. I don't know. All right. Well, either way, real quick rundown of this draft, though. So like I said, I don't know. I want to think of McConkey, Thomas, Malik Neighbors. The one thing that I see going on here is that it does seem to Malik, Worthy. So Tet, Pearsall in round 5, Rome in round 6, Keon. So I do see where wide receiver drying up really fast. Yeah, it does drop really fast. By the way, I use an ad blocker on YouTube, so I never see ads from anyone. I advise you to do the same. They won't like that I'm advising that, but there's ad blockers for this. Or just get the YouTube Premium. All right. Yeah, we did. That was fun. All right. We did the freshman sophomore thing. I don't know how to get like super unique with it. I think you're just going to draft a bunch of teams and hope for the best. But fun little contest. I like it. Let's do the other one here. So we got the German Shepherd, but Superflex. $5 entry, 20 max. Standard. Tracy's not that good, dude. Neither is Davis. You don't want that. But you only have to start one. All right, but you really want to start 2. I think heavy running back is always the way in these. Superflex, guys, you want to try a Superflex tournament this time? $5 entry. $20-second contest. So this one's Superflex. Obviously, the reason I like going on Underdog and taking these alternate format contests is they do mess with the best ball bros a little bit and their sort of overall approach. We filled up really quick. So it fucks with the best ball bros a little bit, right? Because they have their overlays and all their bullshit. And this fucks with them a little bit because it's a whole different format and you have to change your mindset. With that being said, Superflex, I would say almost, you know, here's what's funny, and you guys are going to think maybe this is a little bit crazy, but I almost think in this format it reduces the importance of stacking a little bit. I could be wrong. I think it reduces it because you got all these quarterbacks going on. You just need good quarterbacks getting their thing done. I don't think like we have to. I think you stack when you can, but you don't overly force it. All right, let's see who's in here with us. Fact 74 is in this one. Well done, Drago. He's in here. So a different group from the last one. Okay. Nicely done, guys. And Soup's got in there at the very end, snuck in at the end. So well done. Let me put the draft board up for this one here. And we'll just leave that as our primary window that you guys can see while we do this draft. So let's go with that. There we go. Draft board on screen. I am starting with pick 1.8. And again, this is Superflex. So while you don't need 2 quarterbacks every single week, because that's a Superflex spot, certainly want 2 quarterbacks and ideally 3 quarterbacks scoring for your team. In this format, QBs are going to get taken very early. As we can see, the first bunch of picks are all quarterbacks, probably through like a Joe Burrow. Yeah, and then the drop-off from Burrow, you kind of get a pretty big drop-off there. So Burrow will be the last of what would be considered the super stud quarterbacks, and then you start to get into, position players. But you get, feels good when you get those position players that low, but the cost is you don't get stud quarterbacks when you do that. There goes Burrow. So you leave me Bijan. You got Justin Jefferson, Gibbs, so many studs. We take Bijan here. Baker, round 1. Drago, you really did not want to wait. And taking Baker ahead of Mahomes is bold as well. There goes Mahomes. So Field going hard on these quarterbacks early. Let's see if that strategy pays off, Cotton. It's a bold strategy. Let's see if it pays off. So far, you know, 6 quarterbacks off the board in round 1. Fern Diggler, double QBs in the first 2 rounds. He's done. He's good at QB. Took care of it. Let's see how that works out. Fern Diggler. Bo Nix is gone, so there you go. Another quarterback off the board. Stud players dropping like it's hot. And Purdy. Drago, what are you doing, man? Jesus. I'm going to take CeeDee Lamb. Drago deals with the QB situation early. I'm left holding the ball a little bit right now. I can only hope that some of this QB craziness slows down at some point. Hood Haynes fills out the QB position as well. So we have 3 teams with double QB. This is going to get sketchy. This is going to get real scary, guys. I don't know. Having regrets. I feel like my camera zoomed in on me or something. No. All right, there we go. Drake May, Caleb Williams, Dak. We are down to real turds QBs, but again, Deep State got his 3 quarterbacks early. He said, fuck it, I don't need regular players. I'm just going to get all my QBs in the first 3 rounds. Again, see how that works out. McCarthy. Oof. He's got his 2. Vershair, I guess he takes a QB here. That'll be his first one. And then Soups at the corner, also dangerous with no QBs so far. Nico. Vershair is saying, fuck it, I'm waiting. I'm waiting too. Fuck it. Can't help it. You've seen all these first-round players in round 2. It's like sucking me in, guys. Sucking me in. And he takes his 3rd QB. That's crazy. So now we have 2 players with 3 quarterbacks, which is wild. Another 1, 2, 3, 4 with it. So that's 6. 6 of the 12 have either 3 QBs or 2. 2 teams have just none, and then 2 teams have 1. Another 3 QB team. I think these guys are idiots, guys. So here's the thing. While those moves might fuck it up for everybody else, maybe, for the waiters, the reality is the 3 QB teams are not going to be good. Too much firepower early on the QB position will make the rest of the team pretty shitty. So again, bold strategy. We'll see how it works out, but that's just my take. Still have Versaire with 0. Still have Blueless with just 1. Yeah, there we go. Stroud gone. So now we are down to 1, Chase Brown goes. All right, we're going to get one of our QBs here. A little Penix action. Still really good players on the board. Actually paying me to take the QB there. Almost would have waited a whole nother round. But I feel like, these guys are going crazy. So I had to do it. Had to get one. Talk about drying up fast. Punisher's got his third QB in there. Blue List got his second QB in there. I wouldn't be shocked if this Blue List guy takes another one right now. So Tua is not going to give you a whole lot of confidence. Let's see what he does. Fact 74, he knows better. You know better. Take 3 QBs that quickly would not be wise. Terry McLaurin there. Little Jaden Daniels stack going on for Fact 74. Josh Jacobs in round 5's pretty crazy. Trey McBride, there we go. Again, Versaire, only one quarterback so far. Definitely a candidate to take a second one right here. And he does it. So I am now effectively forced to take my second QB as well. Just because I wouldn't get a second one if I don't take it, because Soups is probably going to take one at the turn, and he could take 2, and that would leave me with nothing. So we got our 2 guys. You're like, hey, Kev, Darnold and Penix? That doesn't seem that great. Not going to disagree with that. But the rest of my team looks pretty fun good. We'll see how it goes. Soups, are you going to roll the dice for one more round? No. No dice roll. No dice roll there. And that's it. We have come to the end of the quarterbacks. Daniel Jones, Tyler Shook, and Richardson remain. Interesting. And now we just draft it like a normal draft. I mean, people think that you need 3 QBs. You really don't. You need 2 quarterbacks. 3 QBs is great scoring for you in this format, though. I mean, they're switching off, right? You get a pop game out of one, that elevates over another one, so that's cool. I feel like I need running backs here. Chuba. I really like Devontae, though. I'm going to get Devontae there. Strengthen up the old wide receiver. This wide receiver group is crazy, but I need heavy running backs from here forward. So for me, okay, interesting start. Lamb, Brian Thomas, Devontae Adams, 3 touchdown machines. Bijan Robinson, a monster running back. Penix and Darnold, not exciting. Not exciting. Unexciting, I would say. But, okay, that's how it goes. You can't have it all. Going to need some RB talent on the team over the next few rounds, of course. Fact 74 with Worthy. But you got Jaden Daniels paired up with Terry McLaurin. I like that. Deep State waiting on running backs. This guy is all wide receivers. So once again, okay. Here goes Kamara. Little RB run happening. Jamo. Yeah, running back, again, thinned out pretty quick. Wide receivers still going pretty strong. So this particular draft, the running backs really thinned out in a hurry. Left me holding a little bag here. I wish I had taken a second one earlier, but I didn't. So we'll see how this plays out. Caleb. What D-Swiz here? I was hoping Trevion Henderson would get there. He didn't. Montgomery was a possibility, Drog, but I went with Swift. I don't know. Last year, Mac Jones got it done. Oh, okay, there you go. All right, so you wanted Swift. That makes me feel better about taking him ahead of Monty. So I was really sketchy about that decision. Danny Dimes. Really? Danny Dimes. Round 7. This is the format where you got to play Danny Dimes. You got to play him in round 7. That's how it goes. Tight end. I still don't have a tight end. Yeah, Dimes. So, I still need running backs to be perfectly frank with everybody. I wish I could trust Judkins, but I can't. So, I don't know. Yeah. All right. You left me Pacheco. I'm going to do Pacheco and just hope that he's back to who he was. It's kind of weird how this one has gone because normally I wouldn't be taking like Pacheco ahead of some of these wide receivers, but I need the wide receivers. I need the running backs. So it is how it is. And I got these insane stud wide receivers, so it doesn't really matter as much. Like basically with this trio of wide receivers, 2 out of 3 of these guys should be, getting it done every week. I don't know. All right, there you go. Timur Kizraev. I don't know Timur Kizraev. It's funny. I don't really watch, I'm a UFC guy, but I don't really watch a lot of PFL. But, getting shot in Dagestan, that seems like exactly what would happen if you were in Dagestan. That's like a fucked up place where getting shot is probably just part of like your everyday routine. Is Ford Sampson moving up my board at all? I think the reason I haven't moved them up my board is just because no, I think they're going to be crap. I don't know how else to put it. I don't think they're going to work out. I think either Judkins will, get a few games off, but then he'll come back, or Judkins won't get out. But like basically Cleveland sucks anyway. So why fuck with those guys? Really, that's what it comes down to for me. Cleveland sucks anyway. Why am I messing with those guys? They stink. Cleveland stinks. So that's my hold up. Like Cleveland sucks. Why am I excited about Cleveland? So I don't want anybody from their team. Yeah, this deep state guy is just, he's not trolling, but he's just a troll. Three quarterbacks, all of these wide receivers, only 3 can score for you. Only 2 can score for you here. So, this guy is just, that's a dead team. That team's dead. The other dead team would be if somebody didn't get their 2 QBs. Everybody did. This one's rough. Mills with just Hurts and Russell Wilson. So that's a tough combo of 2. I would say Lamar with Tua and Shook is sketchy as well. So, these are a little bit sketchy. And you're right, guys. It might be a late pick of Flacco or Jammo or something like that gets it done. The ADP 144. So, Flacco will be taken pretty soon. It's pretty wild. These kind of shitty players going this high. I got Travis Kelce. We have 3 running backs, 3 wide receivers, two quarterbacks. So I can really go anywhere with this next pick. Some decent wide receiver talent still on the board. Let's see what's going on at running back. I'm not crazy about this group so much, so we can wait another round. Tight ends, Hawkinson, Evan. I do like those guys. But I think we go Steffi Diggs and one more talented wide receiver to this mix. I was hoping for Ricky Pearsall, but one of you guys just stole him from me. It definitely is a regular from the show because no one else has taken Pearsall this soon. Unless I missed it and he's still available. Now, where did Pearsall go? Reed, Pearsall ahead of Olave, and of course it is Drago. So I feel like, yeah. I was going to wait a whole nother round after the Kelsey pick for Pearsall, and you just got him. I can't. Drog, I got to fucking stop having you right next to me in these drafts. You're in my brain. Here is Deep State. Now just remembering he needs running backs. So he is going to go with a all shitty old running backs approach and see how that goes. I've got 4 stud, really 3 stud wide receivers. Like Lamb, Brian Thomas, Devontae Adams, now Stephon Diggs. We're going all old. Get some of these old guys. Downs. Still like the choices at wide receiver. Still some decent running backs. I'm taking Javonte. It's been a while since I've drafted a Javonte share, but I'm back. Why not? Why'd we sour on Javonte so much? No one likes Javonte. He could be a league winner. As of this moment, it's not clear that Javonte is the starting running back for the Cowboys, but I would argue if not him, then who? As much as people get a negative feeling about Javonte Williams just because of what he's done the last couple of years, as much as we have that feeling about him, Javonte sucks. Right? That's what you think. I just acted out what goes on in your head when you hear the name Javonte Williams. I don't like him. Right? That's what you said. Except, who the fuck else who's running the football for them? Again, Miles Sanders. You talk about Javonte being somebody who I have bias against. My hate for Miles Sanders is much greater than any sort of dislike for Javonte Williams. Miles Sanders, first round draft pick, massive disappointing career. And years more of disappointing people. We're up on the clock. I know this is a crazy one, but I'm going to fill out my running back group with Trey Benson. We are done. And from here forward, heretofore, we shall only pay attention to wide receivers and running backs and tight ends. Heretofore. And maybe we'll get weird with a little, backup QB action of some sort. I'm not a big take a lot of backup QBs, guys. I wouldn't have Mac Jones on the team. Let's see what's going on here. Deep State. He's going to take another running back. Yeah, he's just taking all the crappy running backs. So I don't think this is an interesting approach, guys. I've seen this done quite a bit, what Deep State is doing. So just, pay attention to it. It's interesting, but I don't think this will work, but you never know. I'm glad I took away Trey Benson and some of those names that I think are better versions of players he could have gotten here. But to me, you take Najee Harris ahead of Javonte Williams. Why? Take Ramondre ahead of J.K. Dobbins. I just think I think he's doing a bad job of it. But, listen, could easily be wrong. So we need wide receivers and tight ends. Oh. I'll take Bateman. Touchdown guy. Why not? You like my impression before of, yeah. What's up, Sammy Telesco? Yeah. This is the I acted that out. Yeah. The rattlesnake. Yeah. And Milson almost definitely gets in a game this year. Oops. Yeah. I have a hard time seeing how Milton doesn't get into games. I was having a conversation about Tua, guys, and I'm going to throw a warning out there for everyone. I'm going to throw this out there, guys. But like, I need tight ends. Here's my warning. What the fuck was I just talking about? Milson, Tua. Oh, yeah. The fate of Achane, Tyreek Hill, especially Achane and Tyreek Hill. Those are the two primary ones, right? Their fate massively, not just, so they don't just have to stay healthy themselves, which is, in the NFL, it's a feat on its own. So Achane, small running back, gets a lot of work. First, he needs to stay healthy. Right? Then, and this is the harder part, if Tua even touches his head on the ground, the mildest form of a concussion, anything at all that looks at all concussing, okay, at all, he's not going to be out just for a game. They're going to take him out for a month, 2 months. This is what, 5.5. This is one concussion locks you into 6 weeks without him. One concussion. So one, and possibly, the minimum I would say for a concussion for Tua is going to be a 4-week out, and it might be a career ender at any second. But definitely at the bare minimum, 4 to 6 weeks. So when you think about that, and then when you're drafting someone like Devon Achane in round 1 or round 2, I just want, it's just something you got to go in eyes open. This guy is going to be affected by the quarterback massively. I think if any player can get away with it, I think like a Jalen Waddle, even with Milson in there, probably could get away with it. And I say Jalen Waddle rather than Tyreek Hill because Jalen Waddle is just, he's on that team. He's going to be on that team. Tyreek Hill's the kind of player that if the ship is going down, he don't want to go down with it. The only thing that can save Tyreek Hill, a Tua injury might actually get Tyreek Hill traded. It might work out better. But if the Dolphins as a team just start sucking this year, Tua hurt, any reason like that, I think Hill is going to be the guy that is the first one to jump ship. It's not so much like who I like with who. I just think Tyreek Hill on a losing team is going to lose interest and just, start to cause trouble. That's really what I'm saying. I don't mean necessarily like a fit with the QB so much as I'm just saying, and by the way, Milston doesn't have no fucking arm. He sucks. You should keep him in round 5 with your keeper league. Yeah, you should. You should keep him. That I think is a mistake. You should be keeping Achane in round 5. I don't think he's untouchable as ADP. By the way, I think it's dangerous. I don't mind him in best ball. I'm all about it. I don't care. Like I said, I've said this many times already. In best ball, it does not matter to me. It does not matter to me if you're an injury player because every league I draft in best ball, every team I draft, it's like a GPP. I treat it as a GPP tournament, meaning I don't really care. If a player gets hurt, all right, fine. That lineup is done. I'll throw that draft away, and I moved on to another one. I'll keep Chuba 5, Bucky 6, Chase Brown 7. So you're keeping Chuba ahead of. I disagree with this, Pollock. Personally, I disagree with this. I would keep Achane in round 5, Bucky in round 6, Chase Brown in round 7, and I would dominate the league. And if Achane gets hurt, you take it. But in round 5, you can, in a normal draft, you can get Chuba in round 4. It's not even a benefit. So using him as your keeper, not helping you that much. I would dump Chuba, keep Achane. I've said my piece. As a matter of fact, Soups or Pollock, let me give you some fucking strategy that's going to blow your mind. All right? Your head is about to explode. Are you ready for this? This is why you come here. Fantasy football. It's not just best ball. That's what we do. I love fantasy football. So I'm going to fucking blow your mind. Your head's going to explode. And you're going to have to scoop up your brains from the floor and pick it all up. Shove it back in there when I'm done. Okay, are you ready for this? Put a hat on. I don't want to mess. Put a fucking hat on. Okay, you ready for this? Here is the solution. You're nervous about Achane. But we know that Achane goes at pick 112 in standard redraft. But you're like, fuck that guy. Probably going to get hurt. Tua, the whole thing. I don't want to draft him. No. Dude, put a hat on. I told you. Your head's going to blow up right now when I say this. You keep Achane, and then you trade him to someone who believes he's worth 112. So you take your Achane and you're going to have to scoop up your brain like Tua does the second it touches the floor. Great. That's really good. You keep Achane, and then you trade him because Chuba's not moving up. Chuba at around 5 value, if you kept him this year, I don't know how the keeper works. You keep him as a 5th rounder. So he's not going to be like a 1st rounder next year. Chuba is where he is. He'll never be beyond round 4. Fuck that. Take Achane. You trade him. Trade him to someone who has Brian Thomas or some other player at the top of, midway round 2 so that you get that stud. Bam. Just fucking fixed it. Then you could pick up Chuba in round 3 in your actual draft. Or actually Chuba, that, in those kind of things, those guys move up. But you get the idea. Keep Achane. Trade him if you're afraid of going into the season with the risk. Or even better, if you have balls. It depends how big they are, right? Balls, size matters. I know a lot of people don't know about this. We talk about how big your ball, how big are the balls? You got balls. We got best balls. Size matters. Oh, we're on the clock. Oh, boy. Hold on. I don't even know what I'm doing. Keenan, fuck it. Actually, I feel like I should have just thrown that pick away on a random QB. I will for the next one. You take Achane, you offer him to the guy that has Brian Thomas Jr. or Amon-Ra St. Brown or Ladd McConkey, any one of those names. Drake London, and you just make the swap. Swap it out. Make the swap. Milfson. Jammo. Oh, damn. You knew I was taking Jammo. Are you guys talking about J.J. McCarthy? Do we know if he's good? I don't know if he's good. I'm trying to see if there's any life left in the QB pool. There really isn't. Yeah, the Rattlesnake could come in but the Rattlesnake is so bad. Kenny Pickett could wind up playing. It's a real guess this far in. I have 4 tight ends, Ray Zanny style, so I don't need another one. I got all the wide receivers, tons of running backs. What I could use is one more QB, but obviously there ain't a whole lot left here. I guess we'll go. Should we just take Milfson for the Tua injury? I was going to take. The problem with Milfson is even if the injury happens and he comes in for you, do you really want this guy? No. Well, whatever. Ads. All right. I'll deal with the ads. Apologies for that. We're checking to see if YouTube distributes this better. That's what I'm hearing. If monetization is turned on, but there has to be a way to only have those ads show like at the end or something where it doesn't bother the stream. I don't even know how you can watch a stream with ads. It's fucked up. Garoppolo. You know what else is old? Garoppolo. But yeah, that could have worked. Wait. Oh, there's extra rounds in this thing. Wait a second. What the heck is going on here? They added 2 extra rounds. Okay. Because of the Superflex, there are more rounds than usual in this draft. I did not know that. Oops. Add to stage. There we go. I didn't realize that. So we got a couple extra rounds in this one. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, I just have one more pick. Okay, there we go. The rattlesnake went right after Wilson. Drago. It's funny. Dylan Gabriel was taken ahead of I think I'm going to go with Mac Jones. He got it done last year. Fuck it, right? Brock Purdy gets hurt. Mac Jones could come in and actually do a little work. I'll do it. YOLO. All right. It worked last year. Why not? For the boys. No. Plumber's just the snake. He's not a rat. He doesn't have a rattler on. He's just the snake. Not the rattlesnake. Guys, I have to say, so that concludes this interesting super flex draft. You know what? We could do one more draft after this because these were really fast. Let's do another sophomores and rookies after this one. But, I mean, this one was really interesting the way it went down. Soups and I both had the same idea of waiting a little bit at QB and see if we can load up on studs early. I'm very curious to see how that comes together. Like, can we skate by with these mid-level QBs, but all these extra stud position players? We'll see, right? So I end up, Soups gets CM Sizzles, Justin Jefferson, Brock Bowers. I mean, it's a crazy start, right? Awesome. Love, and then Rodgers, rough. Danny Dimes, though, could be good, could be great. And Dart certainly should be starting games in the second half of the season when it matters. Dart is actually a really good pick, too, because not that he's a good player, but we want to do an eliminator next? Get our eliminator in? We probably should. Puppy 2 for Ray Zanny. We haven't done an eliminator. Puppy 2 is so standard. It's boring. But anyway, yeah, I like this approach. Dart, especially in this contest, really interesting because, again, we want those players. He's probably starting later in the season. This dude over here did the whole wait on running back thing. This might work too. He was definitely deliberate about it. I'm not going to rip on this guy. I'd say the worst thing he did, though, was pretty much not have any tight ends. I don't get that. Why would you do that? So this is a dead team. This team cannot win. And he didn't take tight ends, by the way. Deep State, terrible. Terrible. Fact, Daniels, McCarthy, 2 QBs, that's fine. A couple of turds late. Eliminator, yeah, I get it, man. Let's do an eliminator. Ray, I know you love the puppy, but I feel like a day without an eliminator draft is just a bad day. Russell Wilson and Jalen Hurts, that's not enough for this guy. Mills, he's done. No way. I think the 3 QB people are not going to do well. Let's see, though. I don't know. I wish these takes could be tested later on. Yeah. Let's do another rookie sophomore because, you know what? I got 2 drafts in already, and I don't want to take that much longer. An eliminator is really almost like 40 minutes or 35. I think we do this rookies and sophomores thing in like 5 minutes. So or 10 minutes. So let's do that one. We'll knock out another rookies and sophomores draft here. Where is that? Here we go. All right, guys. This is a small contest. Only 4 entry. Oh, sorry. Whoa. I share screen. Here we go. I thought you could see what I'm doing. Okay, so this is a smaller contest. Only 4 of us will be in here. So I've got it open on screen. He wants to do eliminator. Oh, now you're throwing me up. All right. Eliminator. Fine. We do eliminator. Fine. Where is it? And maybe we'll do the rookies and sophomores after. All right, eliminator. 20-second per pick. $10 entry. We're doing it. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Eliminator time. Sync your watches. Couple spots left, guys. 2 spots left. So 1 spot left. It's filled. That's it. If you're watching me on delay, you're fucked. Rookie sophomore. That's all right, man. That's my bad tattoo. I threw you off there. That's on me. But that's okay. Rookie and sophomore is fun. And actually, the rookie and sophomore were just 4 people. Oh, there's Justin McMahon. Jay Stizzy. McMizzy. My boy, Justin, who is not here in this draft, in the chat, but randomly in this draft with us. Oh, I'll send him this this video afterwards. So we get an extra bonus, guys, in the Eliminator. We get to critique my buddy Justin McMahon, J Max, Jay Stizzy McMizzy in this draft with us, and then I'll send him this link and let him know that we critiqued him. As far as the rest of this one, I got Soups in here. We got Fact74 and maybe Jake Paul. I don't know. Looks like, oh, so you and Soups are in the other one. See, I threw you off. You guys are in that one. We're in this one. That's okay. We're in the Eliminator. Reminder for the draft that's happening on screen. And let me put up the draft board. Hold on. I know. We'll put up the draft board. Okay, here we go. All right, and we're going to, in real time, critique my boy Justin, who has no idea that we are in this draft with him. He goes for Saquon with pick 1, the chalk. I get it. Soups, you're in both? Maniac. All right, I'm on the clock. You leave me Bijan or CMC. I love it. I'll take it. Thank you. Remember, in this fight, and that's Soups double fisting in both drafts. So let's see how Soups does trying to manage 2 simultaneous. Yeah, it's easy in round 1, but as soon as you get to round 5, 6, 7, you got to think a little bit. Where are you going, Polak? All right, back to work. Fine. Back on Friday. You'll be back. I'm getting that post 1 p.m. hunger pain. It's already hit me. It's like happens right during the last draft every time. Man, I forgot to eat today. Janty, Malik at the end of round 1. And Achan. There you go. Fact is not scared of Achan at all. I want to believe that's Jake Paul, but it's not. Well, I guess one nice thing about this draft is fewer people in the chat are going up against me. And so maybe, some of my my faves will drop to me or have a higher odds of dropping to me compared to what normally happens. That is a really early grab of Josh Jacobs for that a weak land person. This person experienced drafter, highly experienced, and yet there we are. Jonathan Taylor goes again a little sooner than I'm used to. So this one is going a little bit interesting. AJ Brown, not somebody I'm drafting. You guys already know he's on my do not draft list. Bucky, of course. I mean, so why wouldn't you take Bucky there? It's crazy that he was still available. Chase Brown goes, and you take my running back away, which forces me into taking a wide receiver here, Drake London. But this sets up, you know what? When you take Drake London, if this was a stacking contest, that would set up an interesting scenario where I'd be very interested in grabbing Penix. But because London, this is not a stack contest, there is no benefit to high scores or anything like that, other than getting past the week. You don't need correlation here, so you don't need it. Yeah, McCaffrey is definitely moving up. And he will continue to move up. If McCaffrey shows healthiness, he will just continue to move up and up and up. McMahon takes Bowers in round 2. I like the spot for Bowers. I don't have any problem. And then, early quarterback. Interesting strategy. Bold, Cotton. It's bold. Still have stud QBs available. again, this is the eliminator format, guys, a format where I believe that having a very strong group of running backs is the key to success. Ray, do you think that Taylor should be moving up or down based on like what you're saying here? Because Taylor is all over the place in round 2. Achane definitely moving up. Achane is basically just a bet on can Tua stay healthy. Achane is effectively as good of a scorer in best ball as good of a scorer at the position as anyone. That's the whole thing with Achane. Like in healthy games with Tua last year, he's RB1 overall, like number 1. So there's a reason why people are excited about Achane. That's what I'm saying. You know, his downside is scary, but the upside is massive. It's just an interesting situation with Achane. I don't know how else to put it. It's interesting. If it works out, he's going to be the best guy. But if it doesn't work out, which it might not, because the quarterback gets hurt, then he's going to destroy your team. There's very little in between with Devon Achane. Yeah, Taylor, Achane, Henry when he was going in round 2, hell yeah. Cook, Kyron, Burrow, Mahomes, yeah. There's nothing here I don't really agree with. Other than that, I'm less excited about Jonathan Taylor maybe than you are, Ray. I know he helped you win a lot, so that's awesome. Ladd, Drake, AJ, definitely AJ. I think AJ Brown doesn't belong where he's going. Ladd McConkey, I think, is questionable where he goes. London, I do like London. Is London going to outscore Devontae Adams this year? And Devontae Adams goes 2 rounds later. In that, I would say, I don't know. I think QB, I can make an argument that there's so many good quarterbacks this year that taking the early ones might be not the right call. I'm just saying, can make an argument. I only have 2 running backs so far. Again, remind brain, it's the eliminator. We need running backs. We need them early. We need them often. Yeah, like I said, I think with the abundance of quarterbacks that are good, and again, think about Justin Fields, think about all of these other names that are available later in the draft. There's so many of them that are really good. So to me, it reduces the need to take early quarterbacks in this format. There's just a lot of good quarterbacks available. So why take them that early? My boy Justin, so he does sometimes auto draft. I don't know if he's watching, if he's live drafting or he's auto drafting, but he will just upload those projections. It looks like it's the clock is going down to 0 every time. So he might be auto drafting. I don't know if I like the last couple picks. All right, we're back on the clock here. Oh, we're going to get Jimmy Connors. One of the things I talk about, again, this format, we got to get past week 1. We got to get past week 2. So these sort of older guys that have an injury propensity or higher injury likelihood, I'm not as concerned about them in the eliminator. I just need to get to week 3. I just need to get to week 3. So, like I said, in the eliminator, I'm just not that concerned about it. Kev, why'd you take James Conner? James Conner is as good as any of the even higher picked guys, the 4th and 3rd round guys. But he's in round 5 because everybody's down on him, on his health situation because he's old. I don't care about that. I only need to get past 4, 5, 6 weeks with him, and then I'm golden. We're in the money. The more he gives us after that, the better. And in this format, I don't even mind handcuffing him. So if the ability to get like a Trey Benson pops up, okay, I don't mind. Travis Hunter dropping down draft boards. Earlier this offseason, Ray Zanny, talk about players that you can get free. Or earlier this offseason, Travis Hunter and Tet McMillan were going back to back. As a matter of fact, in a lot of drafts, Travis Hunter would go ahead of Tet McMillan. Now, Travis Hunter's still on the board in round 6. So he went from probably like a round 4 to now kind of like maybe round 6. He's dropping. Coming up on our pick here pretty soon. Dunze goes. Again, Travis Hunter, next man up in terms of ADP, and yet he continues to slide his way down this draft board. I already have 3 running backs, so I need to beef up my other positions, but it's certainly interesting to see how far he have fallen. And it's the point where, like, wow, Travis Hunter, I might even take him here. He's dropped so much. It's now we're on pick number 70. He's a 60. Oh, there he goes. Okay. I take my favorite player this season, Ricky Pearsall, my favorite. I'm going to do a video about players that I hate, and then players that I love at ADP, like players that I have only that are on all my best ball teams that I can't stop drafting, right? Like these are some players I can't stop drafting. I'm gonna be doing one of those, and I'll do these are players I'm not touching this year kind of video. Get them both. There's ADP. Yeah, it's your own Ford. If you got him with your last pick, I'm still fine with it. Yeah, I'm still cool with that. No Mims yet. No. Mims is rounds away from relevance. Yeah. Mims is more of like a round 11 guy. If you have to jump ADP and take Mims early, then it's not worth taking. Like the whole fun of Mims is that you get the whole fun of all these players is to get a stud late. Taking Mims when like all these other good players are on the board, that ain't winning me anything. Positional advantage. You want to take our picks where we can get a little edge. I'm expecting the run on. Yeah, Timu Tyreek Hill. I like it. I like it. Timu Tyreek Hill. I like that. I like that thought. Mims is a big play guy. He's the perfect. Listen, his team might not play him much next year, and it could be all shit. But if he looks like he did last year, he'll have some weeks where he can win you these your week in best ball, and that's what you need. I want these players that can pop for 25. That helps you win that week in your best ball, and then if they do that in the playoffs, that helps you advance in the playoffs. So I talk about this a lot on these breakdowns, but the difference between the guys who won't cause you to lose versus players that will help you win. Getting a 16 from a running back that's not helping you win. It just causes you. He's not making you lose, right? He held serve. So there are certain players that hold serve a lot. They deliver really good average fantasy production most weeks. They hold serve. Okay, thank you. But there are other players that can win you the week, and that's where you got to balance your team, right? We want those guys who can pop for a 30, balanced with solid. What do you call them? Let me think on that. But I want those guys who can win me a week, balanced with like role players. That's the word I was looking for. Role players who are going to get me consistent points. Give me the upside plus the consistency. And we're talking upside combined with consistency for a well-constructed roster. All this Mims talks get me excited for Mims. I will need a tight end at some point. Oh, we're back on the clock. Yep, we'll take Evan Ingram here, get a solid tight end. When do we start the NHL Best Ball? Tattoo, you want to do a stream? It's going to be you and like 3 other people, the only people who do NHL Best Ball. The 3 of you. Yeah, so like looking through my team, Bijan, win you a week guy. Breece Hall and Connor, much more hold down the position, hold down the fort. Wide receiver group, Jacoby Myers, very much a hold down the fort guy, right? He's not going to usually get you the 20 plus, but you know, London, DJ Moore, these guys can pop. I don't like to take a lot of quarterbacks too early in this format. Again, you have your main guy, and then you want your backup. So, like my main guy, Justin Fields, that's fine. I'll get a couple other ones, but I don't need to have like spend a lot of draft capital on them when there are other solid players that I can still take. That being said, you know, the solid players are starting to melt away, and then you get to the point where it's like, yeah, fuck it, might as well just grab a QB here because everybody else thinks. I like being the guy who's taking like, Geno and Sam Darnold late. I'm fine with those guys. Get that second level of running back going right now. Drake London, increasing that Drake London exposure, Eddie P. All right, so looking at my squad, we've got 4 wide receivers, 3 running backs, a tight end, a quarterback. It can go anywhere with this next pick, really. Wide receiver group remaining kind of sketch, although Keon Coleman's kind of interesting. And, of course, Mims is there as well. Probably not going to make it many more rounds. Running back group, though, tough to pass up, again, on my old friend Javonte. I don't think Javonte is going to be like this league winner. I just kind of think Javonte is going to be a solid running back, and that's what you need. He's that yeoman-like guy. Fill the role. $121. So this next pick is probably the Mims pick. If we get there, we'll just grab Mims. Yep. See, we talked about him. Might as well have him on the team. Already planning out my next few picks, but QB is starting to thin out, guys. So I'm going to pay attention to it. But we know that there are always quarterbacks available, or at least there'll be quarterbacks available for the next few rounds. So I'm not super worried about it. How many wide receivers do we have right now? I've got 5 of them, but only 1 QB and 1 tight end. So we got 5 wide receivers. Probably, still need more of them, scoring for us. But I have a couple of other needs here. We got 4 running backs. I do want to possibly handcuff one of them, so we'll see if that's doable. Again, tight ends are available all the way to the last round, and definitely the last couple rounds. So once I have Evan Ingram, I'm not that worried about it, especially again in this format where I'm really just trying to get past the week. So whatevs, I might even go 4 tight ends, like 3 to end the draft, just so I increase the odds of like having at least one of them give me 12s or 14s most weeks. That's kind of how I would treat that tight end position. I'm just looking in this format. I'm looking to get my scoring from the other spots and just kind of have the fill-in happening at tight end. Tight end, I just don't want it hurting me too much. Let's see what QBs are left. We got Penix, Young, Stafford, Geno, Ward. So we got a nice little group of QBs still available, but they will thin out super fast. So I might grab a QB with this next pick, or I might wait one more. I'm probably going to wait one more because I got Benson here and I've got the QBs, and both of them are thinning out a little bit. So yeah, Soups takes Bryce Young there here. So I have to take Trey Benson just to ensure my RB continuity. Yeah, we're good. Okay. Now I'm going to remind everybody here really late that in this format, bye weeks are really important as well. These are one-off contests. So bye weeks become really important. You don't want to have such super overlapping bye weeks for too many players. It's got to be careful about that. Bye weeks are important. So you got to pay attention. If I've got Justin Fields, a week 9 bye, if I grab another QB, I need to know. I definitely don't want them overlapping. Overlap becomes a problem. So as we get our next QB, make sure it's somebody with a different bye week. I went Geno over Matt Stafford. Why? I don't know. That's what I did. I like Geno more than Stafford this year. Probably. Maybe. All right, so I'm up to 2 quarterbacks. I got Fields and Geno. We've got a 5-pack of really solid running backs, fine by me. Wide receiver, London, Moore, Pearsall, Myers, Mims. 5 really good players. I love this draft. I love it. What's some of the promos? Maybe I should have been over on DraftKings. There's another Best Ball week coming up, by the way. They just called me up later in August. This is good point. Totally acceptable point. This one is an eliminator, Eddie P. So this is a contest style I talk about a lot where correlation really does not matter. Here, we're just trying to build a good lineup. Yeah, tight end starting to thin out. We are in round 13, going into round 14. Tight end starting to go here. This is where that happens. And then we get kind of the real thin group of running backs that are still remaining, backup types that you need an injury in order for them to become relevant. Good group, but, this is your 0 RB group here where Braylon Allen, Roshan Johnson, Will Shipley, all these, Jerome Ford, all these backups floating around. QB group right now, they're all gone. All that's left is Rodgers and then the Jones-Richardson combination. Russell Wilson, don't like any of that. I only have 1 tight end. Tight ends are thinning. We're definitely in like that 3rd tier, 4th tier of tight ends as we sit here. And of course, wide receivers starting to thin out as well. I like Tillman. Keenan Allen goes very early. All right. I'm going to take Wandy. My last sort of, let's call it priority player. Now have my 6 wide receivers, 2 QBs, and I just need to fill out a bunch of tight ends and whatever else I'm, thinking looks interesting. All right, let's see what we got here. Definitely TE time. Take Ertz. Ertz had a good scoring year last year. I'm definitely going to take a few more tight ends, but, why not? We have 3 picks to go. Let's take a quick overview of some of these drafts of people we know. I'm just going to look at, all right, so Justin McMahon, let's see what he did, right? J-Mac, Barkley, Walker, Caleb, Etienne. Nice little spacing. Bowers and Josh Allen. So Justin McMahon very much kind of waited on the wide receiver group. Winds up with Debo, Jamo, Jane Higgins, who we don't even know if he's a starter, old Adam Thielen. So this draft seems fairly weak at wide receiver. And that's what happens when you take luxury tight end, luxury QB in the same draft, right? You take Josh Allen and Brock Bowers, it's going to affect stuff. So, we'll see how that strategy works out. So far for my draft, Bijan, Breece Hall, Connor, really solid trio of starting running backs. Drake London, DJ Moore, Ricky Pearsall, and Jacoby Myers, all solid wide receivers. I love this draft. We got Fields as our primary QB, backed up by Smith. Fields was one of the highest scoring QBs last season. He's a running quarterback. It's a cheat code. And I feel good about him all season long. We got him backed up with Geno. There's no more wide QBs left. That's it. So they're all gone. Could have had one more. Could have taken something one round, but didn't. Right? Wouldn't have minded having one more. But that's where we're at. Geno and Javonte, Trey Benson backing up James Conner, ensuring that I have RB action all throughout the season. But certainly in the early weeks, I'm more counting on just get another tight end in there. Why not? Why not? Keep them coming. Wandale, I got on my team. I always try to get Wandale, Marvin Mims, a couple of upside wide receivers that could contribute to this team. I love late picks that are, potential contributors. That is the best when you can pull that off. No QBs left. Tyler Shook. Justin McMahon just grasping at straws. Calvin Austin, throw another wide receiver in the mix. Wait, what happened? One more round to go, guys. Assess my team. So we got Calvin Austin. Yeah, man, I could do anything from here. Could use another QB. Could use another wide receiver. Always could use another wide receiver, and could even take another tight end. I like these late tight end picks because there are still names that are starters that are available that might actually contribute to my team like week 1, which is cool. It's the only really position group where that happens in the final round. QB group, there's not a whole lot going on. Again, this format's not that great for like a Jackson Dart who might start playing like in the second half of the season. It's not like the best format for that, but I just have 3 tight ends, so I can use a 4th one. It'd be Dart if I had to take a QB there, or Flacco, just fucking dice roll it, then he'll be the starter for his team. Soups is in here. Let's see, Soups, another Soups, Lamb, Bucky, Lamar, Tet, Ridley, Pollard, Jones, Dobbins, Bateman, Kraft, Janu, so a bunch of tight ends there. The stud QB. The only thing, Soups, that I would again critique here, the only thing is probably, the Ridley pick probably should have been a running back. Taking Swift there instead, or a running back there. Because all the running backs got eaten up, and then by the time it came back around, Pollard is a little sketchy. So that's my only criticism here. You probably wanted one more good running back to help get you past that first week or two. But flip side is knowing that you've double-fisted this with 2 drafts simultaneous, pretty impressive. I do want another QB. I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit with Joe Flacco. Take a shot with that very, very close to the final pick. So there we go, guys. Fact, kind of look through all of these drafts. Fact 74 at the very end, the only one I really didn't look at yet. Got Achane, Cook, and Swift. Solid trio. Collins, JSN. Addison, be careful. Addison's looking at a suspension, so I will critique this one thing. Fact 74, just be aware. Addison is now looking at a potential 3-game suspension, maybe. If that happens, this is not a format to get players who are on suspension. So news with Addison, just some risk of suspension there. Double tap the QBs. Can't go wrong with Baker and then Caleb a full round later. I'm not a big Ramondre Bajal-Tutin supporter, but at this point, you got your 3. I probably would have waited longer, maybe taken some other positions here. Everything else looks good. Jalen Wright, love that. Danny Dimes, sure. Taylor, Jatavian, that's what you want to be doing late. So solid draft, guys. Good stuff overall. I would right now, Howard. Yeah. Wilson, 2nd round pick, a lot of hype. Flip side is when you listen to the coaches in Pittsburgh, they love Calvin Austin. They're like, he's the leader in the wide receiver room and the whole thing. There's probably not like enough room on that team for 3 wide receivers that produce. So I think Roman Wilson's a really good late pick. Calvin Austin probably more likely to emerge as good, but I think Wilson is very sneaky. And I was on Wilson ahead of Austin until I heard the coaches talking about like Austin being this leader, but that could just be some misleading talk. So I don't know. Today, every $20 best ball, you get $5 up to 5 tickets for golf. Yesterday, best ball leaderboard high score for DK Dell and Monday. Oh, fuck, man. We should be doing more of those. So, all right. Well, I guess we should have been doing some DraftKings ones. It's draft week, but, maybe next time. They love Brandon. Good luck on your draft as well. Guys, that's going to do it. We're going to wrap it up, get something to eat, lunchtime. But really good Draft-a-Palooza Wednesday here. We got 3 drafts in. That's crazy. That's the most we've ever done. And we'll be back on Friday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, drafting best ball teams. Let's fucking go. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate all of you. Like, subscribe, whatever you got to do. I'll see you next time.